Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel of Mr. Footballians, and today we are doing the Premier League table predictions, and it's for the 2020 to the 2021 season, and I'm going to start from 20th to 1st. So starting off in 20th, I'm going to put Fulham FC. Now really, at this moment in time, they haven't really signed anyone outstanding. They've confirmed that they're going to keep Knockaert from Brighton, which is an okay signing for £10 million. Robinson is a youngster that they're going to get in. But they do have some Premier League players, like Alexander Mitrovic, scoring 26 goals. And there's not really else much to say about them. They got through to the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, their goalkeeper got 17 clean sheets last season, Rodak, so that's decent. I just don't think they are going to survive. So moving on to 19th place, which I am going to say Brighton. This might shock a lot of people, but really they've really been very quiet. To the 2018 to the 2019 season, they've just about survived relegation. This season they've fitted into a comfortable position of 15th. They had 41 points, pretty clear of the relegation zone, but I feel like they've been staying up for a long time now. I just feel like they're going to hit rock bottom and 19th position. I mean, top goal scorer was Mupé, top assister was Grob, Matt Ryan getting 9 clean sheets, so that's okay. Knocker, as you know, has gone to Fulham, confirmed. They've gotten a few signings, someone from Ajax called Veltman, and from Wigan for £550,000. And also, Adam Lallana has joined them, but I just don't see them staying up. They've got a good centre-back in Lewis Dunk, central midfielder David Mui. So yeah, and plus it said no one hit the 7 rating. That's not the greatest from Brighton. Now moving on to 18th position, and I'm putting Aston Villa in here. Now, at the moment, they haven't made any signings. Might be some people coming back from loan, but I don't really know much about those coming back from loan. They have sold a few. A young player called Herman Murphy and Sarkic to Wolves and Chester to Stoke, but not really anything special to see there. The last few games, they actually did very, very well. As you know, top goal scorer and top assister was all Grealish. They did have Drinkwater. He's probably going to go. He hasn't done anything all season. You know, they've got a solid CDM in McGinn. Mings is solid at the back. It's a very tough one. They hardly got any clean sheets. You know, Tom Meaton only having 4. So yeah, 18th position. Now moving on to 17th place, West Bromwich Albion. Now, I don't think they're going to go down. The reason for this is because I don't see them being a championship club straight away. I feel like they're going to hover around that bottom half of the table for a long time, till eventually they might go down again and do the same again. But they do have a very good player in Pereira. He's played outstanding for them. Okay, they're signing. They have officially signed Pereira for £8.19 million from Sporting FC, which is good. Ferguson going 3 to Crystal Palace. Callum Robinson going back to Sheffield United, and Diana going back to West Ham. Not really much there. Charlie Austin and Canu getting 10 goals for top goal scorer. Pereira getting 16 assists. And really, O'Shea and Diagna also playing amazing for them. But the last few games were terrible in the Championship. I feel like, yes, it doesn't really look like they've got a good enough team, but to me, I just have a sense that they'll stay up. Now moving on to 16th place, Crystal Palace. Now, I don't feel like they're going to go down. At the moment, they haven't sold Zaha, but they might have by the time the transfer window is closed. But even if they do sell him, I still think they're going to stay up. They still have a solid squad. all they've really got in is Pirrick from their youth team coming up, and Ferguson from West Bromwich Albion, as I said earlier. The goalkeeper got 10 clean sheets, so that's okay, 10 clean sheets. They finished in 14th last season with 43 points. Top goal scorer, Ayew, with 9 goals. Zaha and Arthur getting 3 assists together. Also, Zaha banged in 4 goals. Not amazingly from Zaha, but he was their best player. Poor last 5 games, losing 4 and only drawing 1. Not the greatest from Crystal Palace, but I still feel like they have enough strong team that they will not go down, but they will finish low mid-table. Now moving on to 15th place, West Ham. And their last few games, they played absolutely outstandingly, except from the loss against Burnley, but they drew against United, absolutely fresh Norwich, won against Watford, so good ending to the season, but at first I did put them in 12th position, but then I changed my mind and put them in 15th. I feel like they will, in the future, finish in a bit of a higher position, but they've got Antonio as their top goal scorer, scoring 10 goals in total, 4 of which was in that Norwich game. They have signed a new player called Sotjek. I can't really pronounce that game name. Don't really know any much about him, but he did come to the club for £14.58 million, with a few departures in Ajeti going to Celtic and Hugo going to Norwich. So hopefully that can help Norwich through their hard struggles. Really, Haller didn't really perform that well. Fabianski didn't really get enough clean sheets, only 7. I'm looking for a bit of an improvement for West Ham, and yeah. So, we're going to be moving on to the next club, to Leeds United, in 14th. Now, they finished first last season, which they finished 10 points away from West Bromwich Albion. An amazing season, and just well done on Leeds. They haven't got to the Premier League for 16 years, so I'm going to congrats Leeds for getting promoted. But honestly, they had a terrific season. There's no way they're going to go down, and personally, they might even finish higher, but I just wanted to be safe. And as you know, they did sign an amazing signing from Valencia, Rodrigo. He looks good, yeah, but is it going to be the same thing that happens to a lot of strikers, like Joe Linton? I guess we wait and see. But, you know, they've got a quality side. Sad that White can't stay at the club. He is going away, and they need a centre-back crucially. They signed in Costa, they've signed in Messala, so they're staying 100%. The last season they did play pretty well. They got the most clean sheets. Bamford got 16 goals. He only started putting form late on. Looks like he's going to be a substitution striker. Pablo's been playing amazingly. Everything like that. And Kieran Phillips, he's been brought up to England team. So Leeds are looking really good, and they might even finish in 10th, possibly. But I'm going to play it safe and put them in 14th. I did originally have them in 15th, but once they signed Rodrigo, I put them up a place. So that is what I'm going to do. So now moving on to 13th place, my club, Newcastle United. For the past 2 seasons, they finished in 13th, Newcastle. They seem like a 13th club, and they are my favourite. So I'm not being biased by putting them any higher up than 13th. But I originally did have them in 12th, but I thought, they're probably going to scuff it, bottle it again. Because the last 5 games they had last season, they bottled it. They could have probably finished in 12th, but they bought the last 5 games only getting 1 point, so they'll probably do the same. And we've got in Hendrick for free. We're going to see how he turns out. Jacob Murphy's coming back, and he did play a decent season in the Championship. Gillespie, I can't really pronounce his name, but he's coming to the club on a free to replace Rob Elliott. Looks like we're not going to keep Williams and Lazaro, so that's going to be bad. We're going to have to try and find a left back, I guess. St. Maximin has played absolute outstandingly. One of the best signs we've had for a long time. John Joe Shelby playing absolute superb. Getting top goals, Shelby, and Maximin getting top assists. I mean, Dubravka getting Just so many saves, the most saves in the Premier League. Amazing from Dubravka, and he got a good 11 clean sheets. He was the only person for Newcastle to play every single Premier League game. Joelinton was just not good at all. Shelvey getting top goals, just amazing. His long balls are just so good, but that's why I'm putting them in 13th. Now moving on to 12th place, Southampton. Now, they played absolutely outstanding last season, getting 52 points and finishing 11th. That's amazing for Southampton. With the signings from Danny Ings, he absolutely played just amazing. Used to play for Liverpool, didn't really do anything. Came to Southampton, banged in 22 goals. Absolutely amazing. Challenging for that top goal scorer. Redmond with top assists, 4. MacArthur getting a few clean sheets, not the best, only 9 clean sheets, but they've confirmed that they're going to keep Walker Peters for £11.97 million, and someone called Jassalu, I'm not too sure who his name is, but £10.8 million, and it looks like Hodgburge is going to Tottenham for £14.94 million, and Yoshida is going on a free away. But Ward-Prowse, Ings and Redmond playing absolutely standardly. The last 5 games, they didn't even lose one. They won 2 and drew 3. But they played amazing. I feel like they're going to do the same again, but not as good. But now moving on to 11th place, Burnley. Now, last season they finished in 10th with a good 54 points. That's an amazing season for Burnley. I originally had them in 14th. The reason for that, because usually that's what happens. They have a really good season, then the next season after they don't do as good. But I think they're going to do around the same season again, just a little bit worse. I mean, Chris Wood playing outstandingly with top goal scorer, 14 goals. McNeil and Westwood getting 6 assists. But they sold Hendrick for free. He's been there for a long time. He's going over to Newcastle, as we've already explained. Joe Hart, which is a shocking one, going to Spurs. Bit odd, but whatever. And Lennon going on a free agent. And they brought in Will Norris with an unknown fee from Wolves over here. The last form, they did decent. They had a loss, win, draw, win, which is always good. They got good players like Wood, McNeil, and Tarkowski. Nick Pope, I mean, he's surely his future for England goalkeeper. 15 clean sheets. Joint second in the Premier League of clean sheets. Now we're going to be moving on to Sheffield United in 10th position. Now, I kind of wanted to put them in that 12th position, but I'm going to say they're going to have around the same season, but I don't think it's going to be as solid. It's going to be a bit more worse, for Sheffield United to actually get to that 10th position. But, I mean, they're missing Henderson. That's one thing. He's going back to Man United. But Musso and McBurney getting top goal scorer, and Musso getting onto the top assists with also Stevens. They got some good players, as they did recently sign Ramsdale for £18.45 million to replace Henderson. And Fordingham, another goalkeeper, don't know why he's in there, but Callum Robbins returns from loan. Is he going to be a crucial one for them? Most probably, I'm not too sure. But they do have some good other players like Basham, Egan and O'Neill. Can't really explain that. But the last 5 games, they lost 3 and drew... lost 3 and won 2. But it's going to be hard for Sheffield United to get that position. Moving on to Everton in 9th position. Now, last season, they finished in 12th with 49 points. And really, that's not what Everton are expecting. Everton are expecting top 10 football, yeah? Especially with their squad. They've got some quality players in Richarlison, Digne, Sidby, Calvin Lewis and Michael Keane, solid at the back. They've been playing absolutely amazing, with Lewis and Richarlison getting 13 goals together for top goal scorer. They've been playing outstanding, okay? And their left back getting top assists. He's just so good. They just need to perform. Pickford has been off form with 9 clean sheets. Poor. And Schneiderlin has gone for £2 million. They've signed in their first signing for £243,000. Nkunuku. The last few games, not the best. They lost, draw, win, lost, draw. So that's only 5 points in the last 5 games. But really, they need to be expecting to finish in that 9th position. I feel like they will this season. They'll get back into it and finish in their 9th position. Now moving on to Leicester City in 8th position. Now they've got some really good players, yeah? It's just because of their depth. Their bench is not the greatest. It's still like a championship bench, you know? But they do have some quality players in Pereira, Maddison, Ndidi, Vardy, Chilwell. But Chilwell has left the club for £45 million, a big signing for Chelsea. There he has left to go to Chelsea. Schmeichel doing good with 13 clean sheets. And of course, Jamie Vardy banging in 23 goals. And old age, he's still got it, Jamie Vardy. And top assist is Barnes as well. Really don't sign anyone at this present moment. King, Thomas and Capusta are going out on frees. So they're not going to be in the club. But really, their last form, they only got 4 points in their last 5 games. That's not very good, and they're missing Chilwell. They're going to have to quickly look for a left back. Pronto. But anyways, we're going to move on to 7th place, Tottenham Hotspurs. Yes, I know you might be very, very shocked about this one, that the last 5 games, they did pretty well. And started to kick on form near the end. But they were joint points with Wolves. And I feel like it's going to be a tight between Spurs and Wolves again. But they've got some quality players, Spurs, and they've got Kane, Son and Uru as some really key players. Kane being an absolute England beast, scoring 18 goals for them, and Son scoring a few goals, but also getting 10 assists for the top assister. And Ori has just performed good. Leroyce, on the other hand, only 6 clean sheets for him. Not what you want to be seeing. But near the end, he did start to perform a little bit better, which is good. In their signings, they've confirmed that they're going to keep Kelso, can't really say that, from Real Betis for £28 million. And Hodgberg is coming from the club to the club from Southampton for £14.94 million. And they decided to get in a free for Joe Hart. But their sellings, Vertonghen left the club for free. Walker Peters, as we said earlier on the video, went for £11.97 million to stay at Southampton, and Skip going on loan to Norwich City. And now we're going to move on to 6th place, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, last season, they were on joint points with Spurs, as I said. It's going to be close, but I think they will finally get into that 6th position, so they do not have to go through to the qualification round. They can straight away get into that group stage. But they haven't really done any signings. They've just loaned in Sarkic, whatever, I don't really know. And Costa's confirmed to stay at Leeds for £15.93 million. And they're also selling Graham for free and Gibbs White on a loan, which is going to be a good future star for Wolves. And Patricio doing very well with 13 clean sheets, a very good goalkeeper. But Jimenez banging in 18 goals with Traore, absolute amazing. Traore is probably one of the fastest players in the Premier League, maybe even the fastest, with 9 assists. You know? Also, Bolly solid at the back, and Moutinho in that midfield is just so good. The last 5 games, they got a loss, win, draw, win, loss. Okay, last 5 games, but I feel like they will finally get into that 6th place finish. Now we are going to move on to, now in 5th place, Arsenal. I feel like they are going to get Europa League football. After last season, they played pretty poorly. But if you have a look, they won against Liverpool. They won against Manchester City in the semi-finals and in the league. They did lose to Spurs and Villa, but they also won against Chelsea. And they brought in William for free. Pablo Murray, I don't really know about him, but £7.2 million, see what he can do coming in. And Suarez, they brought him for free, and they sold Mavropanos on loan. But yeah, Martinez and Leno working together. Martinez got 3 clean sheets, and Leno got 8 clean sheets. top goals, Aubameyang. Aubameyang's so good. At this present moment, he hasn't left Arsenal. He scored 22 goals, which is absolutely amazing. Top assist was Pepe. He played absolutely amazing as well. You know, Saka. Yeah, Saka's one for the future. You got Tierney, one for the future. Xhaka, he played pretty good near the end of the season. Lacazette, not the best. Martinelli is one for the future. But David Luiz, some games he plays good, but most of the time he's been playing pretty poor. But we are now going to move on to 4th place, Chelsea. Last season they finished in 4th, and this season I feel like they'll be a bit more solid because of what they've done in the signings. But let's talk about Willian. He is now going, but he actually played the best out of them all. Absolutely outstanding, but he's, of course, leaving, with Morata staying at Atletico Madrid for £50.4 million. Big stuff there. And a few other sellings that don't really matter, like Pulisic going off for £13.5 million. But the signings, they brought in Werner for £47.7 million, Chilwell from Leicester for £45.18 million, and Ziyech from Ajax for £36 million. That is crazy. Okay, they've done so much in this window so far. I don't know if they got the money to do any more, but they might be pushing for 3rd. But I think the 4th is good, but they're gonna do better in this 4th place. They're gonna be more solid. The last 5 games, they got a win, a loss, a win, a loss, a win. Kepa is okay. He's not even good. They need to get a goalkeeper. That's the one more thing they need to get. He got 8 clean sheets. Tammy Abraham scoring 15 goals. Near the end of it, he didn't really score many. But Willian also getting top assists, but he's not at the club anymore. Now we are going to move on to 3rd place, Manchester United. Now they have, in the last season, in January, they signed Bruno Fernandes. He played absolutely outstanding, probably their best player. He managed to get 8 goals and 7 assists. But Rashford and Martial playing good with 17 goals for both of them. Fernandes and Rashford getting top assists with 7. But could Henderson be the future of Manchester United? Probably, after De Gea absolutely played terrible. But they did sell Sanchez, so goodbye Sanchez. He's going to Inter, I think, and Chong's going on loan as well. But they still have Wan-Bissaka, an amazing right back for Manchester United. I just feel like if they can sign any more players, they could finish that 3rd, and they probably will sign more players. But the last 5, a win, draw, win, draw, win. That's still a decent last 5. But now we are going to move on to 2nd place, Liverpool. Might be shocking. You might think last time I said Liverpool in 2nd place and they finished in 1st, but this time I don't think they're going to win it 2 in a row. They might win it next season. Next season being 2021 to 2022, but they still have quality players in Mane, Salah, Van Dijk, Matip, which is underrated, and you got Alexander-Arnold and Robinson. The last 5 they got 3 wins, a loss and a draw. Only signed 1 player, Tsimikas, I can't really pronounce his name, for £11.7 million. They did sell Lovren for £10.8 million, and Klein is going as a free agent away. But one thing is, it's just Liverpool. I don't feel like they're going to win it twice in a row. It's just because how determined the club I'm about to say is going to be. So let's move on to 1st position, being Manchester City. They're going to be the champions. I said this before, but this time I think they will. Honestly, sorry Liverpool, but you will win it next season. I feel like I'm making a mistake. I probably am going to be wrong, but I honestly think that Man City are going to finish 1st. I mean, they have Kevin De Bruyne banging in 20 assists and I think 16 goals or something. Being probably the best midfielder ever, maybe even the best player ever, I'm not too sure. And Edison, an amazing goalkeeper, getting 17 clean sheets. Sterling getting top goal scorer of 20 goals. I mean, Aguero, the reason why he didn't get top goal scorer is probably because he was injured, but he's still going to do amazing. But he also, they just won. They thrashed Liverpool. so badly. But last season they finished in second, and their signings, they've actually done a bit in their signings. Bringing in Torres from Valencia, I don't really know much about him, but I have heard of him. So see how he plans out, 20.7 million. And Bournemouth are missing their main centre-back, Ake. £40.77 million, they're signing him. So I guess they need a centre-back and maybe might really perform at Man City. Also, they signed in Koto for £5.4 million and Kubri for £4.05 million. And they're selling Leroy Sané, as you probably know. He's gone to Bayern for £40.5 million. He was injured a lot. And David Silva going to Real Sociedad. Yeah, not the best. Jack Harrison going on loan for another year at Leeds, as you probably know. But that is going to be the end of my video. Hopefully you can like, subscribe, and always remember to turn on notifications. Never miss one of my fantastic YouTube videos. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.